Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Toby Rosario, and in today's video, we're going to talk about one of the most commonly asked questions, um, and it's basically, what do I do if the property has back taxes or a mortgage? Can I still wholesale it? And the answer is yes or no. Okay, I'm going to explain what exactly do I mean by that. So I'm going to give some very simple examples so you guys can better understand. Okay, so let's say you have the property, okay? Maybe I should make this shorter. Oh, you have the property under contract. Let me take this out and put under contract. Oh, so you guys can better understand exactly how it all works. We're gonna break it down so it's very simple, okay? So you have the property under contract for, let's say, $30,000, okay? Those numbers, it's really all depends on your market, so don't get caught up too much in the numbers. Let's just say you got it under contract for 30,000, okay? Now, the ARV on the property, okay? ARV after repair value, I'm gonna write that down, after repair value, okay? Now, keep in mind, what that basically means is what the house is gonna sell for, what it's worth when it's all fixed up, upgraded, and all of that, okay? So after repair value, let's keep the numbers very simple, it's $100,000, okay? So let's say, so the house is worth 100, you got it under contract for 30. Let's say the owner owes 10,000 in back taxes. Back taxes. Okay? Alright. Now, the owner owes 10,000 in back taxes. Okay? So at closing, they're going to deduct minus 10,000. Okay? Okay? So this is what the seller is going to net. $20,000. If you know they don't owe any other taxes or any other liens, judgments, anything like that, mortgages. So in this example, the house is worth $100,000. Okay? House is worth 100. You got it for 30. You're gonna sell it for 40. The seller owes 10,000 in back taxes. So this is the purchase price, contract price, minus any taxes, mortgages, liens, judgments, encumbrances, basically all the same. They're gonna minus any minus any taxes, mortgages, liens, judgments, encumbrances, any taxes, liens, judgments, anything that is owed, that the seller owes, they're going to deduct that from the contract price. So at closing, the seller will get whatever the purchase price is minus whatever back taxes, mortgages, liens, judgments that they owe. Okay? Now, this still can be a deal, obviously, if because the seller is going to be aware that she owes 10,000 in back taxes, and then she knows. So whenever you sign a contract, you say, this is the price we're agreeing on, minus any taxes, mortgages, liens, judgments, and you would get that information when you ask them, and that way you can contract it where the seller would know what makes sense for them, minus what they owe. So they're going to get 20,000 at closing, right? So that deal can still go through, okay? Now let's use another example. let's use another example. Let's clear all this out. Let's clear all this out. Okay? We're going to use another example where they might owe less. More. So, in this example, seller owes. So you have the property under contract for $30,000. This is not working. This is not working. How do I undo this? Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, so let's use another example. So you have the property under contract for $50,000. Okay? Under contract, right? And the contract price. Okay? Seller has a $45,000 mortgage still left. Let's say 55,000. So you guys can understand. 55,000. So you have it under contract for 50,000. The seller owes 55,000 on the mortgage. Is that a deal? Yes or no? Okay. Yes, if she's willing to come out of pocket 5,000 in order to get the deal closed. Okay, she would have to come out of pocket because she owes more than what you have it under contract for. Does that make sense? So in this case, she owes more than what the contract. So if whenever you're negotiating a price, it's going to be deducted. Any mortgages, taxes, liens, and judgments. I'm so repetitive, but I want you to get the point because I get a lot of people ask this question, and I'm trying to simplify it so you guys can understand. So whatever the purchase price is, whatever you have it on the contract for, just understand if there's a mortgage, or if they owe taxes, or if there's liens, if there's judgments on that property or from the seller, they're going to deduct that from the purchase price. So in this case, if the seller is willing to come out of pocket $5,000 to get this closed, which 9 out of 10 times, 10 out of 10 times they won't, to get this closed, it's not a deal. So it wouldn't make sense, right? It wouldn't make sense because they wouldn't make any money. In this case, same thing. Just know that, the seller would know that, okay, if we agree on 50 and you owe 50, then you're not going to net anything at closing. You're not going to get anything at closing. The seller owed 30,000. She's going to net 20,000, probably a little less. There's other things that she has to pay. Net 20,000 at closing because 50 minus 30 is 20,000. Okay. So that's basically it. Just understand that whatever purchase price you have it under for, whatever purchase price you have it under for, whatever purchase price you have it under contract for, you're going to minus any taxes, any back taxes, judgments, liens, any taxes, judgments, liens, or mortgages. Okay, so let's say the house is worth. It doesn't even matter what the house is worth. The whole purpose of this video is just to understand that if they owe taxes, yeah, you can still wholesale if the numbers make sense for everybody, right? If the numbers make sense for you, if the numbers make sense for if you have it under contract for 30,000, they owe 40,000 in taxes, you can't wholesale it unless it's worth like a lot more than what you have it under contract for. Make sense? You just don't have to sell. It's not gonna net anything. So just keep that in mind. Whatever the purchase price you have it under for, if it's over that purchase price, then it's not gonna work, right? If they owe more than what you have it under contract for, then you have to raise your price up. The numbers need to still make sense. All right. I hope I'm getting across what I'm trying to point out. Don't overcomplicate it. It's very simple. Whatever the purchase price you have it under for, just minus any taxes, judgments, liens, mortgages. That's all the seller's responsibility. That's not your responsibility or the buyer's responsibility. whenever you get to closing, the title company or the attorney's job is to provide clear title. What that means is no judgment, taxes, liens. The title needs to be clear. There needs to be no debts title tied to that property, so in order for them to transfer that deed to the new owner, right? It's not like I'm gonna sell you something and I owe all this money on like that. That's not. That's what a clear title is. There's no judgments, taxes, liens, mortgages, anything. It's clear. There's no encumbrances on the property. I own that property free of any debts. Make sense?